Welcome back to ReZero Anime Review, episode number 62. Alright, we're here reviewing the 57th episode of the series known as The Newest of Heroes and the Most of Ancient Heroes. This episode adapts from the rest of Chapter 2 of Book and pretty much also the rest of Chapter 3. Yep, it does. Which I gotta praise the fact it did that. It just finished having 2 chapters. It's more like the last quarter of Chapter 2 and pretty much in a way the rest of Chapter 3. Yeah. So what happens in this episode? Well, episode opens up where we have Al. Looks like he's killed some members of the Witches Cult. And this whole scene itself is basically kind of an explanation of why in the world that what happened in the last episode where what was going Al was into that intercom mirror compact. So basically, he has a little chat with Emilia for a little while, where she wants him to contact Subaru and inform him that the Witch of Lust is in Tower 1 and Regulus is in Tower 3. Also, about Beatrice, and it's like, okay, I'll pass the message on, and don't worry, everything will be perfectly fine. And then she goes back to her room, where basically, it looks like she's basically defrosting her stand-in. And then she notices basically 184 there. That's the wife number. Her name's available later. Actually, her name's available book 20. So, basically, the only reason why she came back was because if she didn't, Red goes to her the rest of the remaining wives over this. And from her perspective, 184, she she just doesn't care. She probably expects it. And don't worry, everything will be perfectly fine. Meanwhile, though, at the government office, where Al basically, they chat for a bit, and then Al shows up, informing him, Subaru, of what Emilia told him. So they figured, okay, the media wasn't destroyed, so we need to do a broadcast. So, Anastasia, nope. Garfa can't do it because basically he's not that well known. Julius, despite the fact he's well extending, probably the only people won't care. So he's someone who's a nameless civilian to it, and Crouch could do it, but she's not in any condition to do it anyway. So Subaru basically just do it. He's reluctant, but he does anyways. So basically he does a little funny thing of mic test 1, 2, 3. I was like, what? Yeah, I guess they probably never heard of that before, the mic test. So, basically, he goes on this really good spiel, basically, get people hopes up, basically about looking at each other and to hear him. Really good speech. And then he introduced himself as Subaru Natsuki, the spirit user defeated the Archbishop of, Sloth. And he said he's not one of the witches cult. They're still basically have the city, but well, that basically they give him a fighting chance. It's a great scene. And from to rereading the book, it's spot on. In case you're curious, the first portion of the episode, it's the last few pages of chapter 2 and all the rest of the episodes from chapter 3. So after finishing his speech, and of course Ricardo shows up, and of course, basically, he's embarrassed by it. And, well, 184 is like, who is that? Well, that's my nice Subaru Natsuki. Oh, don't worry, everything will be perfectly fine. Let's go to the wedding. And that's their whole thing in the episode. So, yeah, so they have info, they have people, basically. We also see Garfield's siblings in In a shelter, we see briefly his mom make a cameo. Yes, his mom, who is alive and well, despite the fact he thought she died. Yeah, the whole thing of her, like I mentioned in the previous episode, the reason why she's here, because she apparently died. This actually is a retcon. Yes, because, well, it looks like she actually died thanks to accident. But she's alive, and they retcon, she survived because basically her current husband found her and she was suffering from amnesia. Aside from they have her partial name or name tag, they don't know who she is, like everything prior to this, she's not anything at all. She's not even her own children. So technically she's giving birth to 4 children. 4 kids. Garfield, Francesca, and the 2 she's got with her husband. So, yeah, it's basically built up with next episode. The episode ends with Otto finally showing up. Yeah, in case you're curious, how the heck did he survive basically Archbishop Wrath? He'll probably explain it in our next episode. And he's like, I didn't come alone. And behind him is Reinhard. And he basically is willing to go to do some fighting. Probably because basically his jerk-up father that's negotiating with his current mastermind now, Felt. Yeah. Actually, Felt basically was seeing Cam on top of the roof. So maybe she finished negotiations with Reinhardt's father? Who knows? We'll find out basically in the future. Yep. And this episode also even had flashback seasons 1 and 2. You would think, wow, this episode, this is going to be the series finale of this series? No. I highly doubt it. Given the fact there's still more episodes to air. Now, the obvious question is, why the stock footage? That's honestly kind of a really good question. I do not know why they decided to use stock footage from basically use stock footage from season 1. Like, a lot of it was from season 1, like a little bit from season 2. And I'm like, why? It doesn't make any sense. The fact that the studio did this for. Yeah, I thought this was kind of weird. But we'll find out basically what happens next. Now, according to an article, they say the very next episode will be the end of Core 1. I highly doubt it. Because, like I said before, when it comes to the episode count of the season, there were 2 articles released prior to this very season that, some people did know. I already knew about what was going on the first episode. I knew it was going to be 90 minutes, and I knew it was going to adapt the entirety of Book 16. I knew about that ahead of time. According to rumor, the first article that came out, it's going to be 35 episodes, and it's going to adapt basically 2 arcs, roughly 10 books. And then another article came out, which got people very confused about this one, where, it's going to be 60 episodes, but of course 2 cores. And I'm like, I read the second article, I'm like, this sounds like bullcrap. I think someone just made this up. Or maybe that the actual episode count was leaked out, and then I guess maybe White Fox got cold feet inside of this nonsense article that came afterwards. Who knows? We'll find out after next week. Yep. Excuse me. In case you're curious, though, where's Priscilla? She's mentioned in the episode. By the way, there's even cameos in this episode by the Demonic Beast eating people and poor people running away from them, which that probably says more later on with Garfield. With Garfield. Well, also, we realize with Super, he just jumps on him and basically gives him a big hug because he's happy to see him. But yeah, I like this episode. It was really good. Do I think anything major cut? Not really, no. I'd say they kept a lot of it for this episode. Yeah, that's the thing about the season so far. They're very slow, but I don't mind it. Now, here's the thing. Do I think next episode covered the entirety of Chapter 4? I don't think so. I think that we'll start adapting chapter 4, or maybe do before, just maybe like the first half of chapter 4, maybe the first half of chapter 5, who knows, but I'd say for adaptation of this very book, we probably have about 2, maybe 3 more episodes left to go for this one. That's my guess anyways. Yep. Excuse me, yeah, but that's pretty much it, particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do hit the like button. Well, next time is basically going to be, well, actually tomorrow, because there's no time for it now. It'll be just 2 anime, Blexist and Is Our Goes Dungeon, okay? See you. Bye.